You're lying in bed and your brain is running a list. You want to learn Spanish. You want to understand how architecture works. You've been meaning to get into philosophy. You want to learn how to write a book, start a business, travel everywhere, master playing a guitar, get seriously good at cooking, and somehow still have time to just sit and think. And you feel this quiet panic, not because you're lazy, but because you can feel the math not adding up. One life, one body. And approximately you feel like 10 lifetimes wouldn't be enough to do everything you want to. That feeling has a name, and it is not a disorder. It is not scattered thinking. Psychologists call it multipotentiality, and it describes people whose intellectual and creative capacity spans so many domains simultaneously that no single path ever feels like enough. Here is what makes this different from regular ambition. A person with typical drive wants more of one thing, more money, more recognition, more success in their chosen lane. But you don't want more of one thing. You want entirely different things, all at once, all equally. And the world keeps asking you to choose. Pick a lane, find your passion, singular, specialize. And every time you try, something in you resists because choosing one genuinely feels like killing all the others. Dr. Barbara Kerr, who has researched multipotentiality extensively, found that this is one of the most quietly painful psychological experiences a person can carry, precisely because it is not recognized as a real struggle. People hear you have too many interests and think that sounds like a luxury problem. They don't see the grief underneath it, and there is grief, real grief, because you will die before you become everything you were built to become. That's not dramatic. That's just the honest math of being this kind of person in a single lifetime. But here's where it gets important. That breadth your brain craves, it's not a distraction from your purpose. Research on what's called the M-shaped mind shows that the most innovative thinkers in history weren't specialists. They were people who gathered knowledge across wildly different fields and then connected dots that nobody else could even see existed. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't scattered. He was operating at a level of synthesis that specialization could never produce. The full version of a quote you've probably heard cut in half goes like this: "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. The world kept the first half, handed it to people like you, like a verdict. But the second half is where the truth actually lives. The pain isn't that you want too much. The pain is that you've been trying to fit an M-shaped mind into a world designed for a straight line. And every time you couldn't pick just one thing and stay there, you interpreted it as a personal failure instead of what it actually was. Evidence that your brain simply works differently, at a wider frequency than